Hey guys, welcome to this video on Chiron and Aries. If you have Chiron in astrology in your natal chart in the sign of Aries, this video is for you. I'm Cassandra, the Saffron Sage, helping you use astrology to evolve. And in this video, first we'll talk about what Chiron means, the mythology, the meaning in astrology, and then we'll talk about what it means in the sign of Aries. So Chiron in astrology is the wounded healer. Chiron in mythology was a centaur, half man, half horse. He was known as the best centaur. He was known for his medicinal knowledge and his ability to heal. He was taken under his wing by Apollo because his mother abandoned him when he was young for what he looked like. So really, we see the wound happen in the story. Originally, that wound of abandonment. Now, not everyone's Chiron is abandonment, but the idea that you are not good enough in this respect. In Chiron's respect, it was his appearance. But what happened, he ended up being able to heal because of that wound. If his mother hadn't left him, he never would have been trained in medicine. So Chiron can be a place in our chart where we are more likely to be able to heal other people because we know the suffering that it took. You know, we know what other people go through. We know how bad it is. And how much we heal or how we choose to heal, that is really up to us. And it can take many different forms. So then Chiron ended up getting shot with a poison arrow and he couldn't heal himself. He tried. And he ended up choosing to give up his immortality because he was immortal. So he chose to give that up for Prometheus's freedom, and he ended up being placed among the stars, and that is how the story goes. And so really the theme that we see, what Chiron means in the natal chart, is it's a place where we have a restriction, something that we feel like we're blocked to, and also where energy is poured into it. So it's not just simply an obstacle in our life, but an obstacle in our life, a wound that continues to be activated whenever that pattern comes up until we choose to be aware of it and then consciously dismantle it. So Chiron really does take some conscious work. And, you know, some of you watching this may have already come far on your Chiron wound. Some people learn this just through their life experience. The best way to use this video is to take what resonates and leave the rest, because I'll be giving kind of the most extreme cases for Chiron, and it's up to you to see, you know, where you fall on that spectrum, whether it is totally to the extreme or maybe just some of those energies. So that's important in every video because these are general, and to get more specific, we'd have to look at, you know, the house your Chiron is in, what the aspects to Chiron are, to really see the full picture of how the Chiron story shows up in your life. So let's move on to the video. So if you have Chiron in Aries, there is a wound here of being self-directed, feeling like you may not be able to be self-directed to go after what you want in life, because Aries is the sign of taking initiative. So there can be some kind of block or challenge to your belief in yourself and your confidence and your ability to make a mark on the world and your ability to make a difference. So some potential manifestations here are feeling like, I can't do things, so why even try? Almost this apathy, this feeling of giving up on life, giving up on your own goals. And you might not give up on life all the way, but you might find that you tend to hide in other people's goals in some way. You tend to want to direct other people's lives or put other people's needs ahead of your own instead of choosing and deciding what you want. So this could show up in relationships where you end up, you know, not doing the things that you want to do. It could end up in being so self-sufficient that you don't have anyone else around you because you kind of feel like you have to do everything yourself. There's an imbalance here to the feeling of self-worth, self-esteem, self-direction, and again, the ability to make an impact. So keep in mind, we can always express a wound in one of two ways. in the avoidance of expressing that energy or in the overcompensation. So the avoidance of expressing Aries energies is, I don't know what I want in life, or I know what I want, but I don't believe I can have it. Some of the actions that follow with this Chiron and Aries wound can be going after what you think other people think you want, or not even taking the time to define a goal. So there can be an aimlessness for some people with this placement. There can also be this sort of restlessness, this lack of focus or direction of energy that makes the person still be productive and still be busy, but without an actual clear focus for their energy. So they can kind of run around all day burning up energy just to do something without taking that moment to step back and really consider, what's the end goal and how am I going to reach it? And so these people can still be very active and still be in a way self-directed, that they're taking actions. But if this wound shows up in this way, this is going to be someone who kind of burns up all their energy, having fun, buying stuff, or just staying busy for the sake of having something to do, to feel like they're doing something, because Aries energy does need an outlet for all of that energy. With Chiron and Aries, you can also censor yourself and kind of get in this sort of wishy-washy limbo state where even if you do know what you want, or you identify a goal or a next step, there's like a little bit of a limbo you might go through before doing it. That's all about like analyzing other people's opinions, making pros and cons lists, and really kind of just almost like sabotaging in a way to keep yourself in a certain spot so you don't have to take the risk of taking that next step. So sometimes that can show up. This can show up as a fear of taking that next step. And again, with Chiron, there's a wound here. There's a wound that said, I can't take action. I don't know. I am not good enough. What if I fail? So the wound here can show up in different manifestations, right? Not taking action, fear of failure, overcompensating and trying to be number one because you don't want anyone to see that you can't do something. That fear of not being good enough could actually translate into being a bit of an overachiever. So it can go either way. But deep down, the core wound here is, I don't deserve to exist. And so all of the actions that are happening are from this core wound that, if I stand out, if I go after what I want, I don't even deserve that. And oftentimes that feeling is not conscious. It will just show up in all these manifestations. And this wound of feeling like, man, I really can't have what I want. I don't deserve to be here. All of these blocks to simply just doing what you want with your life, especially when it comes to things that involve breaking away from others and being independent. Sometimes the desire to win can be present here, like I have to be first, I have to be the best, I have to always push harder. And again, this does still come back to the overcompensation for that core wound. So the healing journey for this Chiron placement is to come to a place where you deserve to exist. And with every Chiron, it's about noticing and being aware of and dismantling whatever, that wound is, and coming out on the other side with the ability to express the energy without that emotional charge. So with Aries, that looks like being able to set goals and go after them, go straight after them. So the healing path for someone with Chiron and Aries is to learn how to express your instincts, how to identify and go after what you want. Give yourself permission to want what you want and go after it. And if necessary, set boundaries and confidently stand up for your true worth. Now, this is simple, not easy if you have this placement, because your natural tendency is going to be to restrict this energy and to say, no, other people's happiness is more important, or to sacrifice for someone else's goal. And again, it's about finding balance. So for those people who are overcompensating, who are, going out frantically taking action, it's about learning to step back and have that patience. And for people who are kind of undercompensating, who are not even taking any action, it's about learning when to set those goals and to stand up for yourself, set boundaries, embrace your confidence because you deserve it. The gift of this placement when healed is a compassion for others who have challenges figuring out what they want. There's also a really beautiful self-assertion that comes when this placement is overcome. When you have Chiron in Aries and you have spent some of your life not getting what you want, then once you are able to really zero in, embrace that confidence, and achieve things in a healthy, balanced way that works for you, and release that emotional charge that says, I don't get what I want. There is so much freedom and power and confidence available for the person with this placement when they have overcome this. This is about knowing you are on the right path regardless of what other people think. And again, balancing that energy, it doesn't mean you have to leave everything behind that isn't what you want, but adding that healthy dose of self-confidence, independence, really accepting the things that make you stand out from the crowd, and even possibly stepping into leadership in some way. If you have Chiron and Aries and you have been setting boundaries, or you are working on being more self-assured, being more confident, working on doing things you want to do with your life, even in relationships, really keeping those boundaries, then you are on the right track. If you are being mindful of how you are expending your energy and being conscious of, what you're focused on and where to direct your efforts, you are absolutely on the right track with this placement. So that's what I have for Chiron and Aries. Let me know in a comment below if it resonates. I love hearing from you guys. And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to get more videos like this. You can also book a private reading in the link below. So I will see you all in the next video.